Hey everybody, it's Greg here, White Rides. Just want to make a little video. I haven't done one in a while, and I guess I just wanted to reach out to everybody that's following us on Facebook, on YouTube, TikTok, all those good places. We've got a lot of followers that some of you guys have been here from day one, from the first time that White got diagnosed. Some of you were friends with us before then. But we have a whole lot of new followers out there that's following White's Rides, that's following me and Christy, and maybe they know some of the story, but they don't know all the story. Which the only people that does know all the story be me and Christy, because there's a lot of our story that I like to keep to ourselves. It's not for everybody else. But guys, I just like to update everybody on things. And with this today, I posted something. Today is January the 7th, and which is the anniversary date of when White got sent home for the final time. Now, when I say for the final time, is because we got sent home a lot. We spent 14 months at Children's Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, and White was fighting medulloblastoma, which, if you don't know what that is, that's brain cancer. It was at the base of the skull, along with the spinal cord, and so everybody's got this misconception that they think of childhood cancer and they think, oh, St. Jude's. Well, no, not St. Jude's. And I can say that because I guess St. Jude's, I have a kind of a bad taste in my mouth toward them, and I have every right to be. And if anybody's ever fought childhood cancer, they would agree with me. So the reason that is we spent 14 months at Children's Hospital, Birmingham, Alabama. Great doctors. Our doctors are like family to us now. We still see each other, talk to each other. It's just a bond we'll never lose. And toward the end of White's battle, I was not willing to give up. Neither was Christy, and because I'm a fighter and I'll fight to the end, especially when it comes to my little boy. And we didn't have a whole lot of options left, and we were like, hey, our doctor came to us and said, well, there is a study at St. Jude's, and he could possibly fit in. Now, here's what you guys got to understand: not everybody gets accepted to St. Jude's. Okay. St. Jude's is more of a compound. It's an experimental hospital, and you cannot just walk in the door. The only way you're getting into St. Jude's, a doctor has to recommend you, and then the only way you're getting in is you have to meet all the criteria. When I say all the criteria, I'm talking about everything from blood level work. I mean, everything. All the T's have to be crossed, all the I's have to be dotted, and even then you don't get accepted. If you're too sick, they will not accept you. It's all about a quota. Okay, they don't want anybody dying on their dime. It looks good. It looks real bad on paperwork, because if you watch the commercials, no child turned away. They heal every child. Well, that's bull. Okay, they can't heal every child. Okay, they do turn children away. Well, it took us 5 weeks to finally get into St. Jude's, and that was between our doctors really pushing the envelope hard and making things happen. And so when we did get up there, we got up there late that afternoon. We basically, I'd say a day and a half is about the most we were there, because we got there and tons of paperwork, of course, you know how it is. And Wyatt was just not really acting himself that day, and I just kept pushing. Hey, we need a CT. I said, give us a CT, because I know at Children's Hospital, you ask and you receive. That's just the way it works up there. So I kept pushing it, and time rocked on that afternoon, and finally I found that doctor again. I said, hey, what about that CT I asked for? I said, I think we need to do that. So we had a CT, and that's when we found out through the CT that White's mass had came back, and it was bigger than ever, and it basically had just took over his brain. And actually, to the point it was already pushing. And so they came in our room that night, and they're like, okay, what do y'all want to do? This is the situation. And I said, well, we're going home. There comes a time when you're at the end and there's nothing that can be done. And of course, that's when he says, well, you can't just leave. And I said, well, yeah, we can. We're going to. I told him, I said, my son has seen enough hospitals and it's time to go home. And he said, well, you're going to need an ambulance. He said, because at that time, he said, I don't know if White could even make the trip home. I said, well, then get us an ambulance. And so that's why we spent the night up there. The next morning, they had us an ambulance ready, and Christy and White rode in the ambulance, and I followed behind them in the truck. So I posted a video of us coming in. You'll see the fire trucks and the cops and all that. And they gave Wyatt a hero's welcome home, and it was very humbling to say the least, because our whole city, they just shut down. You know, the cops, they met us up on the interstate, and we got escorted from the interstate all the way into Winfield, and it was amazing that everybody stood by our side during that time, and most of you still are. But I just want to, kind of educate everybody about the video that I did post, because, like I said, that if you're just now following Wyatt's Rides and you don't understand what it's all about, then that's a very heartfelt video. It will definitely be the longest drive I've ever had in my life. I don't believe there'll ever be one that can compare. And so we got sent home. That was January the 7th. We came home, and then Wyatt lived for 9 more days. And so from then, he passed away on January the 16th, which is also coming up. So, when I say that I don't like this time of year, I don't like this time of year. So, it starts all the way back from his birthday, November the 20th. Then we got to get through Christmas. Then here it is. These anniversary dates, they all just keep flowing. So, till I get out of January, I just not real crazy about this time of year. But it brings up a lot of bad memories. And but guys, I just basically want to touch bases with everybody, because, like I said, we got a lot of new followers out there, and I want everybody to understand. And if you have any questions about St. Jude's, I don't care. I'll tell anybody. I've got nothing to hide, because while we were in Children's Hospital, we seen a lot of kids that got turned down from St. Jude's, and yes, they passed away. We even know a family that did get sent to St. Jude's, and as their daughter got sicker, they sent her back to Children's Hospital. These big hospitals like St. Jude's, it's all about money, quotas, and they don't like things to look bad on paper. So, just don't, I know a lot of you guys will say, oh, we give to St. Jude's all the time. Well, think about giving to your local hospitals, your children's hospitals. Those places really need a lot of help, and they need your support. So if you would want to donate, if you live in the state of Alabama, donate to Children's Hospital, Birmingham, Alabama. Over in Mississippi, we got Le Bonheur over there. Each state has their own children's hospital, and guys, they need help. They need financial help. They need volunteers. If you'd like to volunteer and you live close to one of those hospitals, I'm sure you could be a volunteer and really help out that way. But guys, I just want to let y'all know that's what the videos are posted about this morning. It's our trip home from Memphis, which is St. Jude's. And no, we were not in. I don't even say we were in St. Jude's. Spend the night somewhere doesn't hardly qualify as being there. But I know every time I'm telling my story to somebody, they want to jump in. Oh yeah, y'all were at St. Jude's. No, it wasn't. No, my heart and everything belongs to Children's Hospital, Birmingham, Alabama, and we'll support them for as long as Wyatt's Rides exist, which I hope is till the end of times. But guys, anyway, that's basically what this video is about. I just wanted to shout out to everybody, let you know what it is, what it's about. And as time goes by, if you have any questions, reach out to me. And as Wyatt's Rides keeps growing, we have a huge following. We have people overseas that follows us. We're all across the United States. Now, with that, the people are there, the following's there, the money's not. Okay, we're still, like always, we nickel and dime everything. And the only thing I can figure out is maybe you get the people first, and then later the money comes to help out that way. I don't know. And also maybe Wyatt's Rides is not designed to be a financial type foundation. Maybe it's more on the spiritual side. I help a lot of people through conversations that helps them going through their own mental battle. We've all got things going on in our lives. Some are a lot less than others, and but maybe it's a big thing to them. And so, I'm able to talk to a lot of people and help them work out their situations, keep a lot of people keep their feet planted on the ground and not lose focus of what they're doing. Because, guys, we all got a purpose in this world. And whether you know it or not, you're here for a reason. All my life, I've done some really stupid stuff that I should have been gone years ago. And even back then, I'd say, well, God's got a reason for me being here. He done took me at any moment. And maybe this is my reason, Wyatt's Rides. And but I'm always going to be here for anybody. If you got something you need to talk about, I'm not a biblical scholar, but I do know that one day this world is going to end. And when it does, you need to know where you're going. Are you going to be in heaven or are you going to be in hell? So, and the only way you're getting into heaven is through Jesus Christ. Plain and simple, guys. There's going to be a lot of good people that's going to be burning in hell. You're not getting into heaven through good works. Everything that I do through Wyatt's Rides, that's not buying my ticket into heaven. I'm sorry. I can do all the blessings here on earth I want, and it still won't get me there. So, guys, you got to know what your final destination is going to be, and this life is very short. Okay. You woke up this morning, you have no idea what this afternoon might hold for you or even what tomorrow might hold for you. So I ask all my friends and family out there, get your life right. Even if you don't want to start out with going to church, you don't have to. God's everywhere. He's waiting on you to call out to him. Okay, there's a reason you're still here, and find your purpose. If you want to have a purpose and you don't know which way to go, hey, reach out to Wyatt's Rides. Car show season is sneaking up on us mighty quick, and with that, we always need volunteers. Guys, we got the Tupelo Blue Suede Cruise. It's going to be coming up the end of April, 1st of May. I know that I could use some volunteers on that, and even in between, we have a lot of stuff that happens in between all that. So. Reach out to me if you feel like you want to be a part of something. The car world's a great family to belong to. Wyatt's Rides family is even better family to belong to. We're just all out here trying to make a difference in this world, and hopefully, when we walk out of this world, we'll leave behind a legacy that'll live on for generations. Unless the Lord comes back tomorrow, then we ain't got to worry about it. So that'd be even better. So, guys, I appreciate y'all and thank y'all for hanging in there with Wyatt's Rides. If you have any questions about our situations, if you're going through a situation with childhood cancer and you're brand new to this battle and you don't know what to do, you don't know how to reach out to the social workers or the hospital, and I know everybody's going through financial burdens, but reach out to me. I probably won't be able to help you that much financially, but I can lead you to where you need to be in that hospital and hopefully lead you to where you need to be spiritually, because, guys, you cannot fight all these battles on your own, especially when it comes to childhood cancer. It's an unfixable situation, and you will not get through it. You will not survive if you don't have a relationship with God. So, again, think about that. Like I said, walk away from it all, surrender it all, give your life to the Lord, and I promise you, you will not regret it. So, again, guys, I hope y'all have a good day, and here it is, January the 7th, and if you've not registered for the Tupelo Blue Suede Cruise, Tupelo, Mississippi, April 30th, May 1st, and 2nd, get on there and get registered, because this show is also going to benefit Wyatt's Rides, okay? The more things that benefits Wyatt's Rides, the more families that we can help. So, guys, I appreciate y'all. Holler at me if you need me.